this past week, I think it was either Sunday night, Monday night.
Sure. Or Saturday, wasn't it?
Was it Saturday?
It was like one of those off schedule games.
Okay.
Like Thursday or Saturday, something like that.
The Bills played the Bengals. T. Higgins, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
T. Higgins, he puts his shoulder into Damar Hamlin's chest. I guess what happened was his heart might have beat it at a certain time.
They had so the explanation I got is that the impact probably caused an arrhythmia, and that caused his heart to go into cardiac arrest right there on the field.
And I think the arrhythmia was caused by his heart beating at the same time of
at
contact.
the impact. Same time. Well, that's what caused the arrhythmia. That's what caused the irregular beat of the heart,
which caused him to collapse.
Which is sort of a freak accident, but it's like, even still, I guess if you're talking about football, that's where you would see that most commonly. I couldn't think of anything else.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened.
It's happened a few times before, but not. I don't think to this degree. Or somebody might have died in a game before. I don't know.
I know I've seen it happen in hockey before. I've seen a clip of somebody basically doing the same thing. But yeah, surprised that it doesn't happen just in general in sports more often. I don't know. I guess it does. It's a freak accident. So, I mean, it could happen at any point. But anyway, so obviously after that happened, he was rushed to a hospital. Everybody obviously gave their prayers and whatnot. I guess where I'm going with this is, this being such a huge story, where does the NFL go from this?
I was getting ready to tell you something else, so don't let me forget it. I got it in my head now. Let me know to go back to that point. But you know what the sickest part about all of that is, right? Like, I know we played it up that it was, it was very heartfelt that he asked, did we win the game? I want to go back right after waking up. And that just shows his warrior spirit. But the sickest thing about all of this is that I believe Hamlin has only been in the league, 2 years? Something like that? Mm-hmm. He's not vested in the league right now.
Right.
So if he never plays another game, if he's not able to play another game, the NFL is not paying his salary. Mm-hmm. He's not getting a pension. He doesn't have insurance. He has to live the rest of his life off the money that he's made this thus far, with no support medically or otherwise from the NFL.
Yep.
That's the sickest part of all of this. They want to make it seem so heartfelt, and man, one of our guys went down, and man, we canceled that game.
And we put threes everywhere.
They would have been burning down a stadium if you'd have played that game. The players. Mm-hmm. The players. Not the fans would have joined in, but the players would have burnt that mug down if you'd have tried to make them play that game.
Yeah.
Oh man, one of our guys went down. We got to cancel that game, and we're just holding on. Football doesn't matter right now. The fuck it don't. The fuck it doesn't. Because if that man doesn't get back on the field and play football, he can't feed his family.
That's a fact.
This situation isn't so tragic, and well, obviously it is because of what happened on the field, right? It was very visceral to see. Mm-hmm. But that is not the endearing thing about it. The endearing thing about it is that can happen to anybody for any injury. It doesn't have to be something where you're rendered unconscious or you actually lose your heartbeat on the field. It doesn't have to be that to that degree. Mm-hmm. It could be, a knee injury, a hand injury, a back, head injury, concussion, neck. Something that causes you to not be able to perform anymore. And now what do? If you go work for Ford for 5 years, you throw your back out on the job while working, somebody gonna pay you for that. Firstly, Ford. Mm-hmm. As it will be at most American corporations nowadays. Why does the NFL get away with letting so many? The average NFL career is only about 5 years. Mm-hmm. That's the average. So think about all of the people who come in before that, who fall out 1, 2 years, destroyed bodies.
Yeah.
Serious health claims that are not getting serviced, that are not getting accounted for because the NFL they're not vested. So they don't have to pay them. Mm-hmm. Like, getting the information that I've gotten on the NFL off the back of this situation has made me so utterly disappointed with the black men that play within it, because they would rather, or at least the people who are in charge of advocating for them, they want the revenue splits more than they want the benefits.
Mm-hmm.
If that is not the best example of a poor man's mentality I have ever seen, that's it. Like, if niggas never heard of a bird in the hand over two in the bush.
Yeah.
Oh, think about all the extra things I'm going to be able to do with my money. Think of all the things that I'm going to be able to buy, the mansions, the cars. I may be able to own an NFL team one day. And I'll be just like one of the good old boys. I'll be rich. I can leave all that black stuff behind. You're not thinking about the surgeries you're going to need on your body. You're not thinking about the physical therapy that you're going to need going forward in your life.
The long-term effects. That
long-term effects.
Well after you.
What are you going to do after football? Not all of y'all going to be on NFL Network, bruh. Not
coaching.
all y'all going to Fox or coaching on the sidelines or going back to your alma mater to become the head coach. That's not in the cards for all y'all. So what are you going to do for the rest of your life? Benefits. Retirement benefits got cut. Disability payouts got cut for the NFL in the last collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah.
You are literally allowing them to take dollars and cents from your health so that you can buy a Bugatti. Now, I don't know who's responsible for that. I don't know if that, I know the players vote, but again, that just, that could come by the way of the negotiations that are going on with the players union, but that is an absolute failure. That we're still talking in 2023 about players who don't have guaranteed contracts.
Yeah. Whose
health is not guaranteed prior, or their health care, is not guaranteed prior to being in the league for 4 years, I think it is.
3 or 4, I can't remember. But it takes a freak accident like this to make
make people realize that.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that I was holding, didn't forget it. Do you remember when Tua got that concussion?
Yes.
And Damar Smith was talking about the fans that say that we can do this game without that level of violence, it's just idiotic and childish. Tua had another concussion this season, by the way. I think that makes 3.
Yeah.
He got 2 more after that shit happened. Mm-hmm. Shut the fuck up, Damar Smith, with your lying ass. I knew you was lying when you said it. It's proven. It is proven. Oh, my God. You getting on microphones telling people that their children can play an inherently violent game that they can literally lose their life at any moment playing. Yeah. That is the reality.
Yep.
Tell the truth. That doesn't stop you from loving football. Unfortunately, it just is what it is. Maybe I'm a sick cookie, but I still love football. But it is literally a sport that you could change your entire life on in a single play.
1,000%.
Comparatively to other sports, there is no comparison. Maybe boxing.
I was going to say boxing.
Maybe boxing. Any type of combat sports.
Anything using blows to the head.
Yeah. That's the truth. And there's no way to play this game of tackle football without that level of violence. It's the truth. You can enjoy the NFL and accept that truth. That's why they get paid millions of dollars to do it. That is why they are 10, 20, 100 times more wealthy than the average American. Because they put their lives on the line to entertain people. That's just a fact. And you sitting up there from the perspective of the players' union rep, creating this fallacy that football could be played safely. The only thing you can do is minimize the damage. That's it. Precautionary measures. Stop pretending that you can change the nature of the game. A 4th, 5th round draft pick making $200,000 a year, you are infinitely more wealthy than the average American. The average American makes $45,000 a year. It's not even a comparison. You could take that NFL salary and live like a normal person for 2 years.
But you're also risking massive concussions or some sort of
And that's why you get
long-term
paid so
tragic
much.
ending.
That's why you get paid so much. But it's incumbent on them to fight for everything, to make the NFL take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
They can't just keep churning out these players back into the world, into the streets, broken, battered, butchered, with nowhere to turn for health care.
Yeah.
It is literally a pipeline from concussion to CTE to university cadaver experiment
But
for
that's
the
the
NFL.
thing there even is that I think this specific situation did more to make people realize that it's not just CTE. It's literally a whole slew of things that can happen on that football field that can cause your career to potentially be over.
And the NFL has been trying to skirt their responsibility of paying for those injuries for decades. They even argued to the Senate that the reason why their black athletes weren't receiving the same amount of payouts as their white athletes. Think about that for a second. Black people make up 3/4 of the goddamn league. But they weren't paying out as much to them because a head injury for a black person is less severe than it is for a white person, because a black person has a naturally lower intellect just by nature of them being black. That is an argument that the NFL made to explain their racism in the last 5 years. No, wait, what year is it?
2023.
When did Concussion come out? When did that movie come out?
It might have been a little longer than 5.
10 years.
Yeah.
Does that sound like a game that you can play safely? Come on, man. Stop the bullshit. Cut it out. Cut it out. Everybody knows already. Everyone knows. The fans don't have any type of well, maybe some of them do. But I would say the vast majority of football fans don't have any illusions about the safety of football.
Yeah.
Many of them have played. They know exactly what kind of game it is. I feel like the people that say this type of stuff about football, right? Like, football is not one of those things that has those old myths. Like, there are a lot of institutions and structures in the world that have just been built up to be things that they really aren't. And so you can kind of debunk them as the spread of information kind of happens and people peel back mythology, right? Mm-hmm. The mythology of football is as real as is in any institution there has ever been.
Yeah.
The physicality, the visceral nature, the carnage of football has been, is, and will forever be present because of the way that the game is played. You can't separate it. And to pretend that you can is just going to continue to lead people to be disappointed in your summation. And eventually they'll just start calling you a liar. Especially when you are not successfully creating a life after football for your players as the player rep. As you're sitting up here saying, oh, that's silly. The notion that we can't play this game safely without concussions or injuries is blasphemous. Well, then you better break out the flags, DeMorris, because if that's not the case, then you're full of it. You're absolutely full of it.
Yep.
That shit happened when you were talking about Tua Tagovailoa, and he caught 2 more concussions after that shit happened. What are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, man, the league is trash, but we've already known that. We've done plenty of videos to prove such, and they're just going to keep proving it.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Damar Hamlin, man. I'm definitely glad that he's awake and alert and able to communicate. I think he even sent out a couple tweets over the weekend. So, speedy recovery is what's being wished for him, for me. And, I don't even know, because I couldn't imagine being his family member and wanting him to go back and play football, but then still understanding that he has to.
Yeah.
Like, literally, at least for another year or so, he has to. Mm-hmm. Because his future depends on him risking his life.
Yeah.
And if you're not man enough to admit that, then I'm just not going to deem you as a reliable source.
That's fair.
So, yeah. Give us your thoughts on the Damar Hamlin situation. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and come back next week for more content.
Yeah, like I said, we have plenty of videos proving as to why the NFL is trash. So feel free to go ahead and comb through those and make sure you subscribe anytime we get any more information about why the NFL is trash. We'll be sure to clue you in.